Good morning, good people. Today is Friday. Friday, everyone, as Darren Hardy says. This is January 10th, 2025. Friday, right, what not a bevy. I was really ahead of the curve, and then something happened. So I thought I had extra time. But I didn't have extra time, but I'm going to add something. This is a Jordan Peterson one that I shared with What Not a Bevy. Okay, there, done. Boom, handled. How are things in Fort Jacks today? What Not a Bevy. Here we are once again at Department of Career Services. This is Friday, January 10th. Did I say that already? Yeah, okay. And it is just after 6 a.m. We are west of Sin City and east of Death Valley in George Nori territory. Right. Right, you are. Blessed, I'm working the ice hockey game. Chad got himself a ticket, so he will be there. Curious. Curioso. Okay, our meme today, our themo, it's the little things that matter. And that ties into the very poignant Darren Hardy talk today. Very, very poignant. It'll put a lump in your throat. What else we got? Okay, let's do our intro, our disclaimer, here's who we are and what we're all about. We are here to help our students and other interested people on their journey through this life. A neuroscience person might say the body is a machine. True, controlled by a brain. True, that distorts reality. True, in order to survive and thrive. Right. Okay, so the body is what enables our brain to move around and do things, carry out its thoughts. It in itself contains a transcendent soul. We are not just atoms in the void. And there's a lot of evidence that indicates we have a transcendent soul. That evidence is because of science. We're better at resuscitating people. Fundamentally, that's it. 50 years ago, heart stops beating, pretty much over. Now, heart stops beating. Well, we just have a few more things we need to try to do to get it to be beating again. And then there was the Yale pig head experiment, which we're not going to talk about ever. We're never going to talk about that. So, but there's getting to be more and more evidence, preponderance of the evidence. And what's wrong with saying, I choose to go with the science towards my behavior rather than, no, it has to be based on faith alone. It's not good enough. It's not good enough if it's proven. It's only good if it's on faith. Well, the problem is fewer and fewer people are meeting that standard. And there are some where the standard is so high and the hole that you have to climb through for God is so small, you say a bad word, God will never forgive you. You work on the Sabbath, which we all do to some extent, God won't forgive you. You gotta, you want to go to some other church? No, they're going to poison us. So it gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and there's fewer and fewer people that are going to make it. So we go the opposite direction. Anyway, that's what we're here for, to help people through this transcendent, through this life, the life of the transcendent soul, to prepare you for what happens next on the basis of makes sense that how you do now is going to have an impact on what happens next. It's just kind of common sense. And if everything is supposed to make sense, then we should follow that. And our life is but a fleeting moment. It's the width of a hair on our head compared to a 7.84 mile walk. Okay, well, we're 5.5 minutes in. We haven't really gotten to our themo-memo and our worksheet. How do we help people through the life? A few ways. One is the podcast, just being here, the repetition, building better habits, building better habits, building better habits, building better habits. Right? That's one way we do it, is just showing up every day, building better habits, because you never know. Maybe there's something that we're going to learn today, but it's showing up, building better habits. Always trying to do it just a little bit better, even if it's imperceptibly better. If you do it and repeat it and do it, it will get better every day. Showing up, building better habits. And the third most important thing is the worksheet down below. The worksheet down below. You just do one thing on there. It's like me in the morning now. Now I'm getting in easily 20 minutes of stretching and upper body strength weights before the podcast. So that gives me time after the podcast to do things. So at 8 o'clock, I am here ready to go, or I am out that door. Where many people are like, oh, what up, dog? What up, dog? Okay, so themo-memo, it's the small things. But before we do that, let's talk about other things. Seth Godin. The magic of the commons. That's kind of a complex one. Don't have time to talk about it. Jordan Peterson, we've got two. I added one to the top, which has to do with a good guy, finding a good man, somebody who takes time out for your needs. Don't take it for granted. Somebody who always picks up the phone. If a man is available, what is it called? Well, if a man is available to you, always answers the phone, always responds to your texts, is dependable, can count on, etc., don't take it for granted. There are very few people out there like that. Okay, so 2 Jordan Petersons today. Themo-memo. Anything happening out there? Whatnot of David? As I am going to do my coffee with my mushroom mix and my coconut oil. So what's happening out there for you? Oh, okay. So another good thing, we got our Whatnot is approved. The sales will start. The sales will start. This will be very good for our big, hairy, audacious goal of no woman under the age of 26 goes back to jail. No woman under the age of 26 goes back to jail. Tick tock, tick tock. All right. Thank you. Apologies for doing that part of my routine. I was actually processing through the day, have an interview for that, but I got to plot out what happens next. How to make this happen. Yes, interview. Inter, short for termite. In, termite. Termite goes in. Okay, to see. Right. All right. So, big important theme of today. Very poignant. Darren Hardy. Don't really want to talk much about that. Don't want to spoiler alert type of thing. But it's the little things that matter. We think it's the big things. We think it is the big things that matter, and it is. In golf, they say you drive for show and you putt for dough. Everybody likes the long drive, the long ball. But at the end of the day, it's the putting. It's the last 3 feet that matter. So it's the little things. And he ended it, Darren Hardy ended it by talking about in all the interactions we do we have a goal to make that person's life a little bit better? And then you can do kind of a Jordan Peterson flip and say, yeah, what I did, I made that person's life a little bit better. I didn't have to do it. It wasn't really that big of a deal. It was a little thing. But what if I hadn't done it, or I hadn't been there and somebody else was in my place and they didn't do it? What would the impact have been? And then you can extend that out to a lot of things. For example, picking up a piece of trash. It's a little thing, but if everybody did that little thing, guess what? No more trash. Nobody throwing trash out. It's a little thing to be polite and pleasant. Hey, good morning. Not, hey man, Jesus loves you. Jesus loves you. I told you Jesus loves you. Hey man. Not that, just good morning. Smile. Okay. Well, this looks like a good opportunity to have a short one today because Seth Godin is a little bit long. The Jordan Peterson, 2 of them. What was the second one? Actually, the first one, the regular one. Don't remember it. But it's a good one. I'll tell you that much. It's a good one. So our big, hairy, audacious goal, want people to help us. And I think we changed the strategy. I think we talked about this, not a bevy. Not this one, not this shameful plug. This one. We changed this for our big, hairy, audacious goal. No woman under the age of 25 goes back to jail. Okay, and we do everything we can to do that. What page are we reading to? Right. Well, we went through number 70. So 71. Let's say 71 through 75. Okay, perfect. Boom, bingo, bango, bongo. All right, well, I think I'm going to call it, unless there's anything else. Maticus von Atticus, not around. Diana, not around. Not good. Not good. See, it's the little things. It's the little things that make the difference. Successful people do things that unsuccessful people won't. Or as Seth Godin says, people like us do things like this. Anxious to talk to you, Whatnot a Bevy, about anything more on the Seth Godin front. I got a prayer heart from Lucy today because I sent her that video. And Whatnot is going to start today. Boom. All right. With that, I will say Avita Zane. Cut. And cut.